Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, and welcome to today's video where I wanted to give a bit of a progression update for the Labyrinth of Legends, kind of talk about the experience so far and the fights that we've done and which were the kind of challenging fights and which ones I kind of was a little bit unprepared for, and also talk about, you know, what we have still to come. So this video kind of aims to give a bit of an insight into what doing 100% Labyrinth of Legends is like, and kind of, you know, if it's something on your radar, if it's something that you're gearing up toward in the future, kind of, you know, what to focus on, what to be prepared for, what to start practicing now. So yeah, hopefully this video, you know, is going to inform you of some pretty cool stuff, and hopefully get you a little bit prepared for the future if this is something that you're looking to accomplish. So the most recent path that we've done in Labyrinth of Legends was path 7 on the Infobot one, and I think I quite like the Infobot maps. Like I've been following them. I've made some alterations slightly to a couple of them in terms of kind of the runs that I'll be doing, but for path 7 it was exactly the path as you see it there. So you go down, you have Red Hulk, you have Old Man Logan, Elektra, Captain Marvel, Unstoppable Colossus, and those ones, they're all pretty standard bosses for kind of, you know, a secondary or multiple Labyrinth of Legends run, so you're fairly used to them, not too much to deal with. And then you have Black Panther Civil War. So initially I was so nervous about fighting Black Panther Civil War, but on my run I had like the most crazy attempt. We got up to, I believe it was a 300 hit combo. I think it was like on the second try, but yeah, I was so nervous about Black Panther Civil War because obviously you can't parry him, or he reflects the stun, and also he takes greatly reduced damage until he's had like 10 hits, and then you deal quite a bit more damage to him for 10 seconds. All the resistances are removed, and you can deal your regular damage. But actually it seems like there's a bug at the moment where the resistances aren't really kind of reducing the damage he takes by a huge amount there in comparison to what they did before patch 12.0, because some of the conversion from like from percentage values to flat values has kind of really mucked that up, which is good because it works really nicely in the player's favor. So yeah, that's some good stuff there, but I thought I was going to get wrecked by this dude, but I think I only took like 5 or 6 revives. I budgeted in about 30 for that fight, so yeah, I was a little bit happy with that, to be honest. I think like the main thing I was concerned about in that fight, obviously not being able to parry was like a pretty big one, but also in terms of like baiting out the special attacks, Black Panther Special 1, in terms of the proximity, you can't evade it if you're like right next to him, so you need to make sure you kind of bait it out from a bit of a distance. It's a little bit of a tricky one, but yeah, it wasn't a bad fight at all. And then we moved on to Netflix Daredevil. I was a little bit concerned because Netflix Daredevil's enigmatic ability is whenever you're blocking, you take degeneration damage, kind of equal to the amount of, it's like, it scales based on the amount of health you have left, but this only happens if you're holding block for more than 1 second, so you know, if you're just quickly tapping to get a parry in, you won't take any degeneration damage there. So actually, he's a relatively easy fight. Yeah, we managed to get him down in a few revives. There was, a bit of BS with some evades on Daredevil, but with Star-Lord, I was just using the SP1 to minimize the chance of him evading a special 2 and then kind of instantly attacking into us. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. And then we had Venom Paw. Venom Paw is the biggest pain in the ass fight I've dealt with in Labyrinth thus far. Very aggressive champion. His enigmatic ability is that he shrugs off debuffs, so he has a chance to restore stuff, but if you parry him and have the Pacify Mastery, then, you know, that reduces defensive ability accuracy and the chance for that to trigger by 30%. So yeah, basically he's going to shrug off like 7 out of 10 parries, so you pretty much can't really reliably parry an attack into him. So you need to be very good at intercepting and very good at baiting out the special attacks, combined with a lot of fun stuff that can happen in the fight, like he has a buff that's like a damage back, like Electro has for a few seconds. He has Unstoppable, Flood of Power, a huge regeneration, which heals for about 170,000, and kind of the trick that I found for dealing with that is if I was below a 50 combo, I would just exit out, like it would just be like, just not worth dealing with. But if I was having a good run, if I was above a combo on 50, I kind of knew that I was probably going to get about the damage back that I dealt, maybe even more if I had a really, really good try. But yeah, Venom Pool's regen is so random, and it's an ass load of health as well. So it's something really to look out for there. But yeah, Venom Pool, biggest pain in the ass so far, just such an aggressive champion, and there are certain times, because he's constantly attacking into you, playing very much like Venom and Maestro, that it's just very, very difficult to bait, because he's constantly, instead of going into you like once or twice, he's going into you like 3 or 4 times most of the time, so you're really, really quickly getting pushed back. So yeah, that's a massive, massive pain in the ass fight, and nobody can really prepare you for that fight apart from like a lot of practice with like 2 and 3 star champions on kind of like Act 4 Venom, just going straight to the Venom there. That's probably kind of the best way to kind of gear up for stuff like Venom Pool, Venom, and also Maestro and Labyrinth in terms of their aggressiveness and playstyle. And then we move down the track a little bit to Doctor Strange. Now, Doctor Strange, very, very crazy fight in Labyrinth. I think one of the things that I kind of underestimated about Doctor Strange is his regen. So constantly, you know, Doctor Strange has like those 3 different stances. You have the armor, you have the fury, you have the regeneration. I don't know if it's like a bug or a feature, but Doctor Strange always has at least 2 of those stances active. So like pretty much 66% of the time he's gonna have that regeneration active. And if you mess up and you fail and he gets a tag on you while he has that regeneration, boom, 50,000 health, just like that for every single hit he lands. So yeah, very, very punishing fight if you fail, and it is so, so easy to fail on Doctor Strange. So the kind of standard tactic that I think most people, you know, want to go for, unless you have really, really insane skill, is just baiting out the special one. And when you're doing that, you have to, if you're really, really close to Doctor Strange, you can evade it and get the in, but most of the time, it's just a huge gamble to try and go in after the special attack one, because he's either going to block or sometimes, you know, instantly attack you back, and you just die there. So that's really, really annoying to deal with. Also, anytime you parry or Doctor Strange hits you on a blocked hit, he's going to sap 5% power. So again, that's going to fuel him even more, so you can't really block on that fight. And if you do parry, you know, he's going to leech power off you. So yeah, huge, huge pain in the ass. Like Doctor Strange, I would say in terms of like difficult fights, I think he's second to Venom Pool. I found Venom Pool like a little bit trickier, but Doctor Strange definitely a crazy, crazy fight. But yeah, there's a lot to deal with on that, but ideally, like, if you want to be super prepared for Doctor Strange, I think the best thing you can do is learn how to fully evade the special 2, which, you know, it sounds easy when I say, like, just learn how to evade it, but it is one of the most difficult special attacks to consistently evade in the game. Like, it's so ridiculous. So yeah, I had like a couple of tries where I nailed fully evading the special 2, but my strategy for the most part was just to block the first 2 like little puffs and then evade on the last one and then kind of get my in after that. But you know, you're taking a lot of damage there, so it's a bit of a pain. It's a bit of a pain, and kind of the con of like healing up on Doctor Strange is that you can so easily die, and especially like if you have full health and he goes into like a 5 combo on you with his regeneration stance, then that is 250,000 health that he's just got. So it's kind of better if you just revive up, and if you die, he one-shots you, he gets that 50k, or you know, it maybe doesn't even heal at all because you're just dead in one hit. So it's a bit of a difficult fight to manage. There's a lot to consider. I think if you are a super insane player, definitely benefit from healing up on that fight. But if you're a little bit, you know, like slightly above average like me, you're doing okay. I think like just reviving and then kind of going in, doing your best, and just keep on rinsing and repeating that is probably the way to go about that fight. But it's a very, very tricky one for sure. And then next up we have Kamala Khan. So Kamala Khan, yeah, wasn't too bad. Like, I'd very much draw comparisons from Venom Pool, but very less aggressive, and the special was much easier to bait. So yeah, you basically just have a much easier version of Venom Pool where you don't have all this randomness. So Kamala Khan, great fight. Very much enjoyed dealing with that. And next up you have Rocket Raccoon. So Kamala and Rocket both have 3.4 million, so they're quite beefed up. Rocket Raccoon, I expected to die quite a few more times than I did. I think I only ended up using about 6 revives on this fight, and I was thinking, because, you know, after Dave Bautista's, like, I got trashed in that challenge by Rocket Raccoon. So it's the special one, like the proximity on that, like, sometimes messes with me a little bit. But yeah, kind of just keeping the distance there is what you need to do. Very similar, kind of the Black Panther in the way you want to play with that special one. Try and make sure you've got a little bit of distance between you and the character, just so you can cleanly evade backwards and make sure you avoid it. So yeah, that wasn't too bad at all. And then we have Maestro, who with Star-Lord is a very, very fun RNG fiesta, but I feel like I've gotten better at fighting Maestro. I remember the first time I did Labyrinth, like my average try was probably about 30 to 50 hits, and now the average try without any RNG seems to be landing at like 80 to 100 and a bit, so that's not going too badly, but I definitely could have played a little bit better on Maestro in my last run, but it was probably the best Maestro attempt I've had. So kind of comparing that to, what was the one that we did before? So yeah, I'll just cover Path 5 as well, because we never really did a video talking about this one. So Path 5, I think, is definitely, like, if you're looking to make like a second, you know, if you're looking for a second path to do in Labyrinth, I think that's the one to go for, because it's not like, it's only like 4 additional bosses from what you fought on the first time, and they're all pretty tricky, but there's nothing like super crazy insane. I guess like Cyclops, he's a little bit crazy, and you do need to be very, very good at evading Cyclops' special one for that. But yeah, anyway, it's a huge step up in difficulty, but it is the place to start, because it's the least amount of BS out of all of the paths. So you start off with Spider-Man Miles Morales. He's actually fairly easy to deal with. You just kind of need to get a little bit lucky with the evades. Just play that fight very slow while he has evade charges. Only use kind of a medium and then a triple light combo, because if you go in, a lot of the time you get wrecked by an evade is when you go in for that final medium combo and they evade that and instantly attack into you, which, you know, you make that gamble on a lot of fights, because, you know, it's not really, with the small Labyrinth evade chance, it doesn't often screw you over, but on that fight you just want to play a little bit slower there, Spider-Man Miles Morales. And then when he has no evade charges, he doesn't really, again, similar thing to Black Panther, where the damage isn't really being reduced by that much anymore, so you can still, like, attack into him and do quite a bit of damage and not use any special attacks if you want. And then you have Black Widow, which is a big intercepting test there, so you can't get the in after the special attacks, because her enigmatic ability is that for 3 seconds after using a special attack, she can't be hit, or you get stunned for like 2 seconds, and if you get stunned, then you'll get hit and you die. So yeah, that's not too fun at all, but Black Widow, she isn't a bad encounter to deal with. You can also parry her in the Labyrinth, which I didn't think you'd be able to do, so that's a good way to get you in. But I have heard from some players that you can potentially get you in on Black Widow after the special too, but it seems a little bit risky. I don't think I'm about that life, but yeah, that's just something I've heard through the grapevine there. I have to fight another Black Widow soon on another path, so I might try that out. And then we have 90s Cyclops. So 90s Cyclops is probably one of the most skill-based fights in Labyrinth. Basically, when he has, after he gets to his special one, for the first time, he becomes unblockable on absolutely everything. So this includes his basic attacks as well. So you need to continually, like, bait the SP1s and also intercept just over and over again to get your hits. Very, very skill-based fight. And if you don't know your stuff when it comes to intercepting, you will get pretty wrecked there. Then you have Ultron. Ultron is a bit of a pain in the butt just because he evades so much, especially with his evade plus the Labyrinth one. It's just a pretty annoying combination there. But he's not, you know, aside from the evades, there isn't too much to worry about on this one. I think his enigmatic ability gives him, like, additional energy resistance. So yeah, that isn't really that huge, to be honest, and again, doesn't really affect the champion too much in its current state. But one of the things with Ultron you just need to be aware of is kind of his heal. You know, it's scaled up to like 3.4 million, so both his regenerations are about 800,000. So when you see the processing, you need to very, very quickly make the call of, are you going to stun him, or are you just going to quit out of the fight, and then just go in again. And most of the time. It really depends on the situation, but if you can get the stun, that's ideal, but if not, you need to exit out the fight before he regens like a crazy amount every second. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that path. So I'd recommend that if you're looking to kind of dust off a second path. Then what else do we have to deal with, which we haven't done yet? So path 6, this is mainly the X23 path, but because I didn't do Spider-Man on my first ever run, I need to do Spider-Man on this one. So basically you just need to bring a Star-Lord and a Guillotine. Gonna fight Spider-Man with Star-Lord. That's gonna be so much fun, and then Guillotine for X23. What else do I have? Path 4. So, what do I have to deal with on path 4? I don't know, this one, oh yeah, this is the one actually where I'm bringing Ultron and going for Abomination and also Guillotine. I don't really have like a super great character for either of those fights, and that's the problem with a lot of bleed and poison immune champions, is they don't have really exceptional damage output. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone on this one, going Abomination, Guillotine, and then for Magneto, going to use Star-Lord, Daredevil again, going to use Star-Lord, then we got Venom Pool again, I cannot wait for that fight, then Cyclops, Ultron. I imagine we're going to get pretty salty around this run. It's going to be a fun time for sure. And then, what else do we have? We have path 3, which we've still yet to do. So on this one, we're going to leave Abomination out, because we're doing him on that run with Guillotine. And this one is, I think, the one where I'm going to factor in Gwenpool to my team. To deal with Juggernaut and Rhino. So we have Gru, we have Vision, and then for Juggernaut we're going to use Gwenpool, then we got Hulkbuster, Star-Lord again, 90 Cyclops again, then we have Rhino, Gwenpool, and yeah, that one should be, it's going to be a pain. It's straight up going to be the biggest ass pain in the world. Like Juggernaut and Rhino, I've heard like absolutely hell on earth fights in Labyrinth. So yeah, really not looking forward to that, but maybe if we can play well and set well with Gwenpool, it might not be too bad. And then finally we have path 2 still on our radar. So I guess I'm not like too troubled about a lot of the fights on this one, but the main like ball lake I see is Elektra. I'm really not looking forward to that, because that's just like a spend fight. We're going to bring Elektra for this one. So we have Star-Lord, for Jane Foster, Vision, yeah, classic 4, who you have to play a little bit slowly, Elektra, Black Widow again, Doctor Strange, Moon Knight. Not really too concerned about Moon Knight. Moon Knight is one of my weaknesses, but I'm pretty sure, you know, if we play it slow, if we play it fairly nicely, try and get him to special 2 as much as possible, hey, it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, that's kind of what we have left. I think, like, out of all the additional runs, the fights that I'm least looking forward to are probably Electro, Juggernaut, and Rhino. I feel like we've tackled like a lot of the big stuff so far, and Spider-Man as well. That Spider-Man and X23 run, I guess that one's not going to be like too bad, because a lot of the bosses and fights, they're going to be so easy because it's a lot of the outer path stuff. But when we get around to those two, yeah, they're going to be a bit of a pain. But yeah, that run shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, it feels close. It feels very achievable right now. But we're probably going to do another Labyrinth of Legends run. I think we need to do at least one before the end of this week. Take advantage of this 10% boost. And then yeah, kind of blitz our way. 4 more runs to go in total. And then we are done for 100% in Labyrinth. So yeah, it's definitely getting closer day by day. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed this kind of progression update video and some tips on, you know, the fights that we've done so far and a kind of a review of my experience. It's been quite fun. It's been frustrating, but kind of the underlying thing is like Labyrinth of Legends 100% is entirely designed to milk the whales. Like, that is what it is all about. It's all about kind of spending a lot of units to get through the fights. Obviously, having skill is going to save you a lot of units, but a lot of the fights simultaneously as well, you know, do require a lot of revives. They're very unfeasible to just walk up to in one shot, and there's a lot that can go wrong in pretty much every single fight. So yeah, that's very fun. That's very fun. But cannot wait to have this done. Like, it's gonna feel pretty damn good once we get it done 100%. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this Labyrinth progression update video today. If you did, feel free to leave a like on the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.